Alright everyone, and so Warner Brothers has concluded with their panel, and it was their turn to showcase their upcoming slate of movies coming out, especially this year, and with DC Studios and James Gunn that were in attendance along with the Superman cast, and we have footage from Superman officially unveiled to attendees and press, and we got a full description of what they saw. And trust me, I think it's going to be more excited for the movie than ever. And I'll be giving my thoughts on the WB panel for what I thought, and also reading the description word by word for what we can expect for this upcoming movie as well. So let's break it all down. And so, if you're new to that, be sure to subscribe and the notification bell so it's on any future videos, including my coverage on Superman as we go along. But now, let's hop right into it. And now, I'm going to be starting off a little bit with my thoughts on the Warner Brothers panel, and that is, I kind of found it good, but it was kind of underwhelming. It was good considering the fact that they showcased their upcoming movies, especially within the horror genre, and also from Warner Brothers Animation, but also talking about The Conjuring 4, F1, Mortal Kombat 2, and so much more, and also they were showcasing footage for that as well. But especially with the thing that people were mostly looking forward to was DC Studios, and especially with James Gunn and the entire cast were in attendance, because we all thought like they were gonna talk about the upcoming slate of movies in the DC universe, especially with everything that we heard, everything that was online and rumored. Because I thought we were going to get information about the upcoming Supergirl, Sergeant Rock, Clayface, or any type of DC project that they had up their slate. They didn't do any of that, which is kind of how underwhelming, because even though with the number one thing that they were all obviously going to talk about was Superman, and that comes out in July, a summer movie season. And even though I kind of liked it, because especially with the entire cast talking about their experience, and they were talking for like 20 to 30 minutes about the movie or stuff that we've already heard, but even though I kind of liked how the cast was talking about how much fun that they had on set, especially with James Gunn, I talked about bits and details about the movie, especially with David Cornswood on how much that he loved Superman, with Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, and Rachel Brosnahan, obviously, who plays Lois Lane. And even though like with James Gunn and Peter Safran that were also talking about, especially of comic related stuff, adapted into Superman, which kind of makes me so excited to know, because I think this movie is heading up in the right direction, but especially they had to start the marketing campaign, especially with the full trailer. But even though like they did release a little sneak peek of the movie, and I think this is footage, and because especially as I mentioned before, if you saw the announcement that they're going to be attaching a 5-minute extended preview of the movie to screenings for the Minecraft movie this weekend, so of course I'm going to be buying my tickets for that. But and even with the description that was shown, and I'm going to read it to you right now, and it goes like this. The Superman movie footage begins with a couple of shots of snow and ice, and then Superman crashing down. He's wheezing, bleeding, and can't move. Then he whistles very loudly. We can see Krypto in the distance, running towards Superman. He gets there and keeps bumping into Superman, who begs Krypto to stop because he's in pain. He says, "Krypto, take me home. Home." Krypto barks and runs around and grabs Superman's cape and begins dragging him. In the distance, we see the ice break out from the ground, the Fortress of Solitude. Krypto barks and the door, which has Superman's emblem on it, opens. Multiple bots come running Superman. They carry Superman into an ore-type room, which beams the sun down on him as they carry him, and he thanks the robots. And then they said, our automations are here to serve. One response, Superman looks at one of them, and that bot says, "Oh, he looked at me." We then see a couple of shots from the trailer, and then a scene in the living room with Lois and Clark. The conversation begins that she might know his secret identity. We see several shots of all the superheroes in the movie, including Hawkgirl flying and Guy Gardner, who is Green Lantern, using his ring/powers, and then the trailer ends with Krypto whining in the background and Superman then flying away from the fortress. And so, for my thoughts on this footage being shown, because I think for what they described it here, and I think this is gonna be like the 5-minute extended preview. I mean, this is to be the case, but especially for what this opening line says right here, that I think that this is an extended scene that we've seen from the teaser trailer of when we see Superman all beaten up. He is bleeding, he is whistling loudly for Krypto, and then he says, Crypto, take me home. And then he gets to the Fortress of Solitude, and he has the son that heals him, and with the robots, sort of like give him the treatment, and then like it's sort of in like a funny way to try to add a bit of humor, also a bit of vibrated colors in that humor. And because especially like we're gonna see a lot of the dynamic between Superman and Crypto, especially what James Gunn wants to adapt. We're gonna see the Fortress of Solitude, which is where Superman is from, and that's his home. And the fact that especially for what type of situation that Superman has been in, that we see him bleeding, he is being healed, and he goes to resume fighting someone, and then and also that we see like Lois trying to learn Clark's identity as Superman, because we all know that these two are gonna fall in love, and that we see shots of Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner, who is aka Green Lantern, and in one of the description footage that they said that saw Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor walking in the shot. And even though James Gunn and Peter Safran did say like, oh, there were gonna be surprises, but I just generally think that like this is a bit better, or I thought it was a good thing. But anyways, but this is like a footage that was showcased to attendees, and especially I think with this description, it gets me more excited and pumped for the movie than we ever thought, because especially as with James Gunn describing good things about the movie, and how this movie is going to spread so much kindness. So we see like the next trailer, because even though people were expecting DC Studios or Warner Brothers to show the new trailer for Superman, as it was rumored, but unless they are saving it for April 18th, which is Superman Day, and even though this is gonna be like unlike the vibes of the Superman from '78, that we're gonna see also that love chemistry between Clark and Lois, and as they're going to begin their interaction, and with Lois, who is a journalist and a news reporter, especially as they're working together at the Daily Planet. And I'm just assuming that whatever James Gunn is going to take inspiration out of the comic books and to adapt it into Clark, and we're going to learn about his identity, his Kryptonian heritage, and we're going to see that play out a lot, because especially for how the movie looks, it looks to be like vibrant colors, and also going like very dark, because especially we're going to see like Superman villains coming together, and with Superman that has to take them down. And again, if you caught my content, like David Corenswet is gonna crush it as Superman. But even though I did found the DC Studios panel like underwhelming, but again, I think they somehow would deliver on some good Superman stuff. But even though they ended up rambling on and on about how great the movie is, Warner Brothers is writing a lot on Superman, and it's their number one priority. But even though they talk about other movies, of course, DC Studios was the one to go on last. But hey, I think we are in for a ride with Superman. It comes out in July, along with Jurassic World and Fantastic Four. But I mean, I think people are definitely going to show up for Superman, and the fact that this is going to be the start of a brand new era, a new chapter in the DCU universe run by James Gunn. And it sounds like with this description of the footage that was shown, and I can basically tell like if this is probably in like the opening act or in the movie of where Superman ends up in a situation and asks Crypto for help and does take him home, and then like he gets out there quickly and he is healed, especially from the robots. I mean, yeah, this is going to be the movie that people are going to show up for as well. So yeah, that's all I say about it. But that's going to do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and what your thoughts on the Superman footage that was shown at CinemaCon from the Warner Brothers panel. And just let me hear your thoughts on what you thought of the Warner Brothers and DC Studios panel at CinemaCon. Just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to notification bell for future videos. Also follow all my social medias or link down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.